who are these in shining armor, whence the glory so bright? Are they come from yonder city, where Christ is all the light? Ride on, King Jesus, to victory. Ride on in glory and power and majesty sublime. Ride on, King Jesus, to victory. Ride on till heaven and earth shall own thee, Lord. O conquering one, ride on.
Hi everyone, I would like to invite you once again to study one of the most controversial subjects, which is about the truth of divorce and remarriage. And before going further, let us invite the presence of the Lord to give us knowledge and intelligence as we continue presenting the subject. Our loving Father who art in heaven, we come unto you to thank you for another privilege you give to us to study thy word. Bless us that we may be able to present this subject with clarity and power. And bless also the listeners of this video that they will be benefited spiritually. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. We knew that one of the institutions that God had created or established in the Garden of Eden was marriage. And it was written in the book of the Bible to give us idea who created this one and what is the purpose, why the Lord created marriage institution. Let us read Genesis 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Ito po ang prinsipyo ng marriage. Unang-una, the man should leave his father and mother. Another word, leave his parents. At saka will cleave unto his wife. And number 3, become one flesh. Yung tatlo, leave, cleave, and one flesh. Pero ito po ay nagiging inattack ng kaaway si Satanas. At binanatan niya po ang institution of marriage to be perverted. Ngayon po, karamihan ay unang ginawa ng mga young people o mga tao, babae at man lalaki, they made one flesh first, no leaving their parents, no cleaving together, but they met one day, another day, or some days to have one flesh. At yun ay perversion. Pangalawa po, ang marriage po ay hindi lalaki to lalaki o babae to babae, kundi ang law of marriage ay ginawa sa Panginoon sa lalaki para sa babae. At ayon po sa Mount of Blessing 63, paragraph 2, marriage institution was ordained by God for the happiness and for populating the earth. May dalawang rason ang marriage institution po. Unang-una, for happiness of human being. Number 2, for the population or populating the earth. If we continue reading, it says, we can trace back the origin of marriage in those blessed days of Eden, when God pronounced all things very good. Then marriage and the Sabbath had their origin twin institution for the glory of God in the benefit of humanity. He enunciated the law of marriage for all the children of Adam to the close of time, that which the eternal Father himself had pronounced good was the law of highest blessing and development for man. Ibig sabihin pala na ang law of marriage was enunciated in the Garden of Eden before the fall. Kaya ang marriage institution ay very sacred. At ang nag-originate nito ay ang Diyos. At nalaman po natin na si Jesus ay nung pumunta rito sa lupa, ang una po niyang miracle na nagawa ay to make water into wine sa isang marriage feast. Ibig sabihin, Jesus honored marriage by His presence and making His first miracle on it. Ayon po sa Desire of Ages 144, from Jordan, Jesus had returned to Galilee. There was to be a marriage at Cana, a little town not far from Nazareth. The parties were relatives of Joseph and Mary, and Jesus, knowing of this family gathering, went to Cana, and with his disciples was invited to the feast. At napag-alaman natin, nang nandoon na po sila sa fiesta, ay naubos ang vino. Kaya lumapit ang kanyang ina at naghingi ng tulong. At ano pong ginawa ni Kristo? He said, "Fill up this barrel with water, and after that, let the chief of the feast taste that." At nung prinoybahan, ay naku, pinaka-masarap na vino so far. He tested. Kaya ano po nangyari? Instead na magkaroon ng disappointment ang fiesta, ay nagiging po na pinaka-enjoyable feasts dahil po sa mirakulo na nagawa ni Kristo. But like every other institution, ang marriage po ay sinibak ng kaaway, binanatan ng kaaway. It was perverted by Satan. Ano po sinabi ng Mount of Blessing 64? Like every other one of God's good gifts entrusted to the keeping of humanity, marriage has been perverted by sin, but it is the purpose of the gospel to restore its purity and beauty. At ito po nalaman natin na kahit anong institusyon na ginawa ng Panginoon, gusto ng kaaway na sirain niya. Hindi po exempted ang marriage institution. It was perverted by sin. Pero ang purpose ng Panginoon, especially in the gospel dispensation, ng lahat ng mga institution will be restored back. At lalo na itong marriage institution should be restored in its purity and beauty. At napag-alaman natin na ang unang tao sa balat ng lupa na gumawa ng unang kasalanan with regards to the 7 commandments was Lamech. Siya po'y kumuha ng 2 asawa against the arrangement of God. Kaya siya po nagkaproblema, merong kaguluhan ang kanyang pamilya. Sa panahon po ni Abraham, nalalaman natin na polygamy had become so widespread that it had ceased to be regarded as sin. Pero it was in no wise not a violation in the sight of God. Kaya po si Abraham, kulang po ng pananampalataya. Nung sinabihan siya ng Panginoon, "You will be the father of many generations." Sabi po niya, paano ako magiging ama? Matanda na ako. Yung asawa ko ay matanda na rin. So the wife suggested, why not take one of your servants to be your second wife? Para matupad yung sinabi ng Panginoon na kayo magiging ama ng maraming henerasyon. Sumangayon naman si Abraham at yung fatal mistake na yan, to have another wife causes so much disappointments, sorrows in his family. Ang anak nila ni Abraham kay Hagar ay si Ismail. Siya pong ama ng maraming mga Muslim ngayon. Kaya ang Hudyo at saka Muslims ay nag-alitan from the time of Abraham until today. And you know what? That was the result of the sin of Abraham. What about Jacob? Si Jacob po ay unang-una gusto niya isa lang asawa niya. But because of deception of Laban, nagkaroon siya ng pangalawang asawa. So yung dalawang magkapatid ay nagiging asawa ni Jacob. Pero it does not bring good result to his family. The continuous envying and jealousy among the sister wives causes embitterment at rivalry sa kaniyang mga asawa at sa kaniyang mga anak. At nangyari po ang malagim at puno ng problema ang kaniyang pamamahay. What about David? Si David po ay may asawa na siya for the first time, anak ni Saul. Pero kung nung nakita niya si Abigail, ano po nangyari? He took her as his wife. At hindi lang si Abigail, nandoon pa po si Bathsheba. At hindi lang si Bathsheba, ang dami-dami pang mga asawa ni David. At yun po ang resulta na si David po ay puno-puno ng kalungkutan sa kanyang buhay. Ayon po sa sinabi ng Patriarchs and Prophets 668, basahin natin. Even great and good men have erred in following the practices of the world. The bitter result of marrying many wives was sorely felt throughout all the life of David. What about Solomon? Si Solomon po ang pinakamayaman na hari sa Israel. Pinaka-smart, pinakagwapo na tao, o pinakagwapo na hari. Pero hindi po siya exempted sa kasalanan. Siya po ay nagkaroon ng hundreds of wives. Not only wives, but also what we call concubines. At ito po ay sanhi ng pagkawala ni Solomon po sa kanyang pagsisilbi sa kanyang Diyos. Instead of serving God, he was enticed by his wives to worship idolatry. Kaya nawala sa isip ni Solomon ang pagsisilbi ng Panginoon. In his later times, siya po'y nagrepent at siya po'y gumugol sa panahon para sa pagbigay ng instruction sa mga young people na they will not squander their heaven's choicest gifts sa kanilang manhood. Kaya, although it was too late for Solomon to repent, but he did it. At siya po'y nagbibigay ng mga payo sa mga young people. But it was too late. Ang resulta sa kanyang kasalanan ay malaki at it can be seen in the succeeding generation of the Israel kingdom. Ayon po sa mababasa natin sa Bagong Tipan, ano po ba ang naitala doon with regards sa pag-aasawa, with regards po sa separation, with regards po sa remarriage issues sa panahon ni Kristo? Dito na po tayo mag-concentrate. Ayan po sa Mateo 19:3 onwards, mababasa natin. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And he said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and the twain shall be one flesh? Wherefore there are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. May nagtanong kay Kristo, na ayon sa sinabi ni Moses na pwede ang isang lalaki mag-put away his wife at any other cause. Pwede ba sa inyo? Ano maisabi mo, Master? At ang sagot ni Kristo, hindi ba niyo nabasa na in the beginning, ang Panginoon ay naglikha ng lalaki at babae? At Jesus give them the idea that in the beginning, God make the law of marriage that the man should leave the father and the mother and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Wherefore, when they are no more twain, but one flesh. Ibig sabihin dito na ang isang mag-asawa ay isang body na. Hindi po ito ma-divide kasi one is indivisible by any number, or else the result will be a fraction. Sa 19 verse 7 onwards, ano pong sinasabi? They say unto them, saying, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committed adultery, and whoso marrieth her which is put away, doth commit adultery. Dito po makikita natin na nung nagtanong ang mga Hudyo, bakit si Moses nagbigay sa amin ng bill of divorcement to put that woman away? Ano ang sagot ni Kristo? Yes, Moses give you the bill of divorcement because of the hardness of your hearts. But in the beginning, it was not so. Jesus point back to the establishment of the marriage law na walang pahintulot sa separation and remarriage. At siya po'y nagbigay sa isang exception lamang. Yes, there will be separation in one reason. What was that reason? Except it be for fornication. Ang fornication na ito includes any other unfaithfulness to marriage vow. Kasama na nitong yung tinatawag na sexual relationship with unmarried person, incest, at saka yung tinatawag na adultery, na ito po'y saklaw po sa salitang fornication. If the partner of that family will not be faithful to the marriage vow, then that's the time you can put that partner away. But listen carefully, the second step, which is remarriage, is not permitted. Bakit po? Sabi dito sa ilalim, and if he shall marry another, commit adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away, doth commit adultery. So vice versa, siyang nag-put away ng wife, hindi pwede magkapag-asawa ulit. At siya pong na-put away yung asawa, she cannot marry again, or else she will commit adultery. Alam po natin, ayon po sa Month of Blessing 63, paragraph 1, ito pong sinasabi. Among the Jews, a man was permitted to put away his wife for most trivial offenses, and the woman was then at liberty to marry again. This practice led to great wretchedness and sin. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus declared plainly that there could be no dissolution of the marriage tie except for unfaithfulness to the marriage vow. Everyone, he said, that putteth away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, maketh her an adulteress, and whosoever shall marry her when she is put away, committed adultery. Mga kaibigan, klarong-klaro dito na nung ang mga Pariseo ay nagtatanong kay Kristo with regards to lawfulness of divorce, Jesus pointed them back to the times of the creation. Sabi po niya, because of the hardness of your head, of your hearts, Moses suffered to give you the bill of divorcements. Ibig sabihin, it was not the permissive will of God to have divorce and remarriage. Sabi po niya, but in the beginning, it was not so. At ang kautusan po ng Panginoon is the transcript of His unchangeable character. Ito po ay karakter ng Panginoon, ang lahat ng kautusan ng Diyos. So, the commandment of God, bawat isa sa kanila will remain forever. So, no ang Panginoon ay naglikha sa lalaki at babae, siya po'y nagbigay sa isang kautusan ng pag-aasawa to control mankind not only from Adam or in the Garden of Eden, but until the close of time. Ano po ang law of marriage? Ito po, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Ito po ang prinsipyo ng pag-aasawa. At ang prinsipyo na ito is unchangeable. Bakit po? May prueba tayo na siyam na mga bersikulo sa New Testament that forbids divorce and remarriage. Tingnan natin bawat isa sa kanila. Marcos 10:11 hanggang 12. Basahin natin. And he said unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another committeth adultery against her. And if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committeth adultery. Dito po, vice versa, pag ang lalaki will separate from the wife at saka mag-asawa ulit, siya po yung nagkasala sa against the seventh commandment. Pag ang asawa po ang babae, mag-alis o mag-separate sa kaniyang asawang lalaki at mag-asawa ulit, siya po magkasala against the seventh commandment. Lucas 16:17 hanggang 18. Basahin natin. And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one tittle of the law to fail. Whosoever putteth away his wife and marrieth another committeth adultery, and whosoever marrieth her that is put away from her husband committed adultery. Dito po makikita natin na mas madali pa mawala ang langit at saka sa lupa na ang isang tilde sa kaniyang kautusan ay mawala. Kaya importante pala ang bawat parte ng kautusan ng Diyos. Walang mawawala sa kautusan ng Diyos. Ibig sabihin, walang ma-change. Anong isa sa mga kautusan ng Diyos? Sabi dito, whosoever putteth away his wife and marrieth another committed adultery, and whosoever marrieth her that is put away from her husband committed adultery. Kaya dito po, klarong-klaro, vice versa. Ang lalaki, pwede mag-put away the wife, but he cannot marry again. Ang babae can separate from the husband, no wonder, no problem, but she cannot marry again. Why? If both of them will marry again, then they will commit what kind of sin? Sin against the seventh commandment. At si Apostol Pablo ay nag-clarify sa kaniyang mga epistola. Romans 7:1-3. Basahin natin. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth? For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So then if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Dito po makikita natin na ang married institution o kaya ang batas ng pag-aasawa is binding until death. Pag buhay pa ang partner, lalaki o babae, vice versa, siya po is subjected to that law. Pag mag-asawa ulit, anong ibig sabihin dito? Sabi ni Paul, she or he will commit sin against the seventh commandment. Pero kung patay na po yung partner, pwede siya mag-asawa ulit. Bakit po? He or she is free already to the law of marriage. Saan po natin ito mababasa? 1 Corinthians 7:39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. Kaya pag mapatay na yung partner, vice versa, lalaki man o babae, they are really permitted to marry again, but with one condition, marry only in the Lord. Ibig sabihin, pwede mag-asawa, pero dapat membro po sa simbahan ng Diyos. Ang 1 Corinthians 7:10 and 11, ito na po ang advice ni Apostol Pablo. Pag may separation, hindi man natin mapigilan. Halimbawa, because according to Matthew 19 verse 9, pwede maghiwalay pag ang causes po ay adultery or unfaithfulness to marriage vow. Ano naman ang advice ni Apostol Pablo pag may separation? 1 Corinthians 7:10 and 11. Let us read. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Kaya dito, makikita natin na pag may separation, there are only two advice. One, remain unmarried. And number two, be reconciled. Klaro mga kaibigan, di ba? I will repeat. Pag may separation, ang gawin, both partners, let them remain unmarried kapag gusto nila maging membro sa simbahan or be reconciled back. Now, nakikita natin na may siyam na bersikulo that speak about prohibition of remarriage. At may dalawang mga teksto seemingly that will tell you that there will be or that will give you permission to separate or to divorce. And seemingly, according to some interpretation of some Seventh-day Adventist brethren, it gives you permission to remarry. Totoo ba kaya ito? Anong teksto ito? Mateo 5:32 at saka Mateo 19, versikulo 9. Pero pagbasahin mo itong dalawa, ang Mateo 5:32 at Mateo 19, versikulo 9, yes, it permits separation or endorses divorce, but not endorsing remarriage. Let us quote Matthew 19 verse 9, without exception clause. At tingnan natin kung pareho ba sa siyam na mga bersikulo sa New Testament. Tingnan natin kunin natin yung exception clause. Ang exception clause ay except for fornication. Tanggalin natin yung salita except for fornication. Ano mangyari ngayon sa Matthew 19 verse 9? And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife and shall marry another committed adultery. and whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. This is exactly what we find in Mark 10, 11, and 12, Luke 16, 18, Romans 7, 1 to 3, 1 Corinthians 7, 10, 11, and 39. The Gospels and the words of Paul harmonize together. Kasi po, in the interpretation of Matthew 19 verse 9, which suggests that adultery, unfaithfulness during married life is meant in this verse, Matthew 99, this verse will be confusing if you don't understand it carefully. Ang interpretation na ito, kung basahin mo na maigi, gave us the permission for separation and what? Divorce. But it never gave the permission for the second step. What is the second step? Remarriage. Let us consider Matthew 19 verse 9 in its grammatical standpoint. And let us compare with another statement having also the same exceptional clause. Let us read. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. Ibig sabihin, mga kapatid, ang exceptional clause dito, except for fornication, gives us permission to put away his wife or to put away another's wife, but does not merit to remarry again. Why? Both the husband here in this verse, if they will marry again after separation, and the wife also marry again after separation, will commit adultery. So this exception will only permit you to what? To divorce or separation. Now let us go to similar paragraph that has also exceptional clause. Ganito. Whoever bears arms except for self-defense against wild beasts and kills a man commits murder. Ang exceptional clause dito ay ano po? Anong pwede dito? He is allowed to carry arms. For what purpose? For self-defense against wild beasts. Ito lang po ang binigyan ng exception para sa protection against wild beasts. Pwede ka magdala ng armas. But to bear arms and kill a man, ano po mangyari? Is not permitted anymore. Why? You will commit murder. So kaya dito yung exceptional clause, valid only in the first part, but it will not be valid in the second part. That's why, in the case of Matthew 99, the exceptional clause there gives us the merit to divorce and separation, but does not give you the merit or permission to remarry again. Mga kaibigan, ang Matthew 19 verse 9 ay nag-involve ng 4 na tao. At we find the same principles. Even innocent or not innocent, yung dalawang tao, husband and wife, pag mag-contact sila to be married to another person. So ilang tao na? 4 na. Ibig sabihin yung 4 ay magkasala po ng 7th commandment. Kaya it is very clear here na hindi pwede ang remarriage. Bakit po hindi pwede? If you do the follow-up in Matthew 19 verse 12, ano pong sinasabi? For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, And there be eunuchs which had made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Ay bakit si Jesus po nagdagdag pa sa versikulo 12 na mayroon tatlong klaseng eunuko? Ano ba yung eunuko? Isang tao na walang asawa. Ang unang eunuko ay nagiging eunuko from birth, from their mother's womb. Pangalawa, may eunuko na ginawa ng tao. Pero may eunuko was made eunuch by themselves. Sinong gumawa na sila ay magiging eunuch? Sila mismo. Bakit po sila ay nagiging eunuko? And they purposely made it. Why? For the kingdom of heaven's sake. Gusto sila maligtas. Kasi pag mag-asawa ulit, ayon sa 19 verse 9, ay magkasala po ng 7th commandment. Ang may versikulo dito po sa 1 Corinthians 7:27 na seemingly contradicting and giving permission to remarry. 1 Corinthians 7:27 and 28. Bigyan niyo ng pansin na maigi, mga kaibigan. Ito po ang sinasabi. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Pag i-analyze natin ito, ang advice ni Paul, kung kayo po'y bound to a wife, ibig sabihin kayo po'y may asawa na, seek not to be loosed. Huwag kayo maghanap na kayo po'y ma-separate or magiging naalis po sa tali. Art thou loose? Kung kayo po'y naalis na sa tali sa iyong asawa, seek not a wife. Ang maganda dito na ginagamit nila, yung versikulo 28. Kapag kayo po'y na-separate na sa wife ninyo, sabi ni Pablo, seek not a wife. But if thou marry, thus thou hast not sinned. Ibig sabihin na yung tao na nalusin sa kanyang asawa, pag mag-asawa ulit, hindi siya nagkasala. Wow, ito pong ginagamit sa mga kapatid natin, mga Adventista, na pwede na mag-asawa ulit kasi hindi daw kasalanan. But look at the Greek word of the word loosed. Punta tayo sa Greek Bible. Sabi dito sa first part, art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Ang loosed na salita dito, ayon po sa Greek, ay looses from G30O089, a loosening that is especially divorce. So, ang salita dito, seek not to be loosed means seek not to be divorced. Ang second part ng versikulo 27, nagsabi, art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. Na ngayon, ang salitang loosed dito ay hindi na pareho sa loosed sa unang parte. Bakit po? Sa Griego, ang loosed dito ay lou or looses. A primary verb to loosen. Literally or figuratively, break up, destroy, dissolve, unloose, melt, put off. Ibig sabihin, art thou loosed? Anong ibig sabihin doon? Kayo po ba ay yung marriage mo sa inyong asawa ay na-dissolve, na-destroy na? Kailan po ma-destroy o ma-dissolve ang tali between husband and wife? Basahin natin Romans 7 verse 2. Ginamit din po ang salita na loosed dito. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. Kaya dito po ang loosed again ginagamit. Pero ang loosed dito ayon po sa Grego ay katargyo. Loosed means katargyo. Pero ang katargyo ay pareho-pareho sa meaning sa loses in 1 Corinthians 2nd part of verse 27. Bakit po? Ang katargyo, ang meaning po ay entirely idle or useless, literally or figuratively abolish, cease, cumber, deliver, destroy, do away, become make or no one without effect, fail, lose, bring, to not, put away, down, vanish away, make void. Tingnan natin, i-compare natin yung dalawang lose na salita sa 1 Corinthians 1 Corinthians 7:27 at saka Romans 7 verse 2. Tingnan natin sa screen. Loses sa 1 Corinthians 7:27, second part. Meaning po, sa salitang lose sa 1 Corinthians 7:27, second part, lose means loses. Ang meaning po sa Grego to English ay destroy, dissolve, lose, unloose, unmelt. Katargyo, doon po sa Romans 7:2, sa salitang loosed. Sa Grego ay katargyo. Ano po ang meaning? Sila po very close po sa loses. Ano po ang meaning sa katargyo? Abolish, cease, destroy, do away. Kaya kung punta tayo ulit sa 1 Corinthians 7:27, art thou lost from a wife? Anong ibig sabihin sa lost na ito? Kayo po ba ay nahiwalay sa inyong asawa dahil yung asawa ninyo ay namatay na? Kung mag-asawa kayo ulit, hindi kayo nakakommit ng kasalanan. So ang lost dito ay hindi divorce, kundi ang lost dito sa second part ay pag ang asawa ay namatay na. So that's why Paul said, you will not commit sin if you marry again. Hope that you will understand that explanation of that verse. Ngayon, punta tayo sa spirit of prophecy. Is there or are there any passage in the spirit of prophecy talking about remarriage? Of course. In Testimonies on Sexual Behavior, 207, paragraph 5, let us read. I feel deeply over another matter, and that is your visiting Fanny in her tent. I have already decided that you two cannot work together. You are a married man, father of 2 children. If your wife has obtained a divorce from you, that does not leave you free to marry again, as I read my Bible. Ito pong dalawang tao na na-involve sa story na ito ay si William F. Caldwell. At ang babae ay isang secretary ni Sister White. Ang pangalan po ay si Fanny Bolton. At itong dalawa ay nagkatao na nagtrabaho doon po sa opisina ni Sister White. Pero ito si Caldwell ay nakagusto kay Sister Fanny. Si Sister Fanny din ay nakagusto sa kanya. At yung asawa ni William ay nagkuha ng bill of divorcement. At sabi ni William Caldwell, ako'y libre na kasi yung asawa ko nag-divorce na sa akin, so I can marry again. Pero anong sinabi ni Sister White? If your wife has obtained a divorce from you, that does not leave you free to marry again, as I read in my Bible. Meron dalawang passage ng Spirit of Prophecy na very, shall we say, very special. Sila po ay bone of contention among Seventh-day Adventist believers against the Reform movement. Ano po ito? very controversial na passage. A woman may be legally divorced from her husband by the laws of the land, and yet not divorced in the sight of God. And according to the higher law, there is only one sin, which is adultery, which can place the husband or wife in a position where they can be free from the marriage vow in the sight of God. Ang continuation po, 344, paragraph 2 and 3. Although the laws of the land may grant a divorce, yet they are husband and wife still in the Bible light according to the laws of God. Pero dito na ang controversial. I saw that sister blank. Walang pangalan dito ha. As yet has no right to marry another man. But if she or any other woman should obtain a divorce legally on the ground that her husband was guilty of adultery, then she is free to be married to whom she chooses. Ang pinaka-special nito, kasi may salitang I saw. Ibig sabihin, ito po ay vision o kaya isang inspiration sa Panginoon. Hindi na personal na idea ni Sister White. Kaya ito po'y ginamit ng karamihan ng mga kapatiran ng mga Sabadista. What happened to you reformers? Kayo po'y gumagamit ng spirit of prophecy at ngayon ito po'y I saw. Ito po'y isang vision ni Sister White. Ay bakit ayaw niyong sundin? Napag-alaman natin mga kaibigan na ang sulat na ito from which the 2 paragraphs were taken was written by Ellen G. White to the Church of Monterey, Michigan on June 6, 1863. The name of the sister was omitted in Adventist Home but was included in Manuscript Releases Volume 17, page 176. Dito po basahin natin mga kapatid. I saw that Sister Johnson, as she has no right to marry another woman, I should say, another man. But if she or any other woman should obtain a divorce legally on the ground that her husband was guilty of adultery, then she is free to be married to whom she chooses. Ito na po, ang pangalan pala sa babae ay Sister Johnson. Napag-alaman natin na when the letter was written in 1863, the Advent people were still pork eaters. Anong ibig sabihin diyan? Sila po'y kumain pa po ng baboy. At dito po naitala ang isang passage sa panahon na ito ay sinabi, I saw that your views concerning swine's flesh would prove no injury if you had them to yourselves, but in your judgment and opinion, you had made this question a test. And your actions had plainly shown your faith in this matter. If God requires His people to abstain from swine's flesh, He will convict them on the matter. He is just as willing to show His honest children their duty as to show their duty to individuals upon whom He has not laid the burdens of this work. Noong sinulat ang liham na ito sa Monterey Church, ang mga Seventh-day Adventists po ay kumakain pa ng baboy. At sabi dito sa Volume 1, 206, it is the duty of the church to abstain from swine's flesh. God will discover it to more than 2 or 3, He will teach His church their duty. Ibig sabihin na when this testimony was written in October 21, 1858, nearly 5 years before the Great Vision of 1863, in which the light of health reform was given, napag-alaman natin na ang bayang Adventista ay wala pa pong sapat na kaalaman tungkol po sa marriage issue. So, pagsabihin natin na bakit ang mga SDARM ay hindi sumunod Dahil ito po inspiration ng Panginoon. It was given by God unto her. Just imagine, si Sister White nagsabi, I saw. Ibig sabihin, ito'y galing ng Panginoon. Bakit po naman ang mga Sabadista ngayon ay hindi kumain ng baboy? At sinabi naman dito po sa talata na I saw na ang baboy ay hindi pa po taste of fellowship. Sila pa'y kumain pa rin ng baboy. Yan po ay ano po, vision din ni Sister White. Yan po ay ano, isang inspiration ng Panginoon. Kaya hindi mo magamit yung salitang I saw. Kasi in every time, there will be specific light given. So sa panahon na yan, hindi pa nagbigay ang Panginoon ng kompleto na liwanag ayon po sa marriage issue. At may mabasa din tayo na isang personal na letter ni Sister White, personal na opinion ni Sister White sa isang tao na may problema, kapansanan ng kaniyang katawan. Yung katawan ng tao na ito ay parte sa kaniyang sexual organ, na siya po isang sterile na tao. At ang masakit dito, mga kaibigan, ang tao na ito ay hinihiwalayan sa kaniyang asawa the fact na may problema siya sa kaniyang sterility. Alam na niya na may problema yung asawa niyang lalaki, pero nakipag-asawa pa. At the end, hiniwalayan siya. At yung lalaki naman, sa ibang mga panahon, nakakita ng isang babae at nag-asawa ulit. At dito po nakita natin na Sister White merong permission sa lalaki to marry again. And this is her personal advice. Saan po ito mabasa? Selected Messages, Book 2, 340. Jay did not put his wife away. She left him and put him away and married another man. I see nothing in the scriptures that forbids him to marry again in the Lord. He has a right to the affection of a woman. I cannot see that this new union should be disturbed. It is a serious matter to part a man and his wife. There is no scriptural ground upon which to take such a step in this case. He did not leave her, she left him. He did not marry again until she had obtained a divorce. When Kay divorced herself from Jay, he suffered most keenly, and it was not until Kay had married another man that Jay married again. The one he has chosen, I feel certain, will be a help to him, and she can be a help to her. I see nothing in the Word of God that would require her to separate from him. As you have asked my advice, I will freely give it to you. Mga kaibigan, the letter na binabasa natin ngayon was written in 1895 to one named Walter and Laura. Laura was his legitimate wife, but she left him. Yung unang asawa, no? She left him. Walter found another girl who knows her physical condition. Not until Laura married another man that Walter did the same. Walter was a rich person, but he has sterility that created his first marriage troublesome and ended up to a separation. His mother-in-law wanted to separate the union because Walter don't want to support her son in college, and she asked Sister White her advice about this plan. The full story is found in Testimonies of Sexual Behavior, page 69. This letter was not published in her lifetime after 60 years and was compiled in 1953. Mga kaibigan, ito po ay personal na opinion ni Sister White. Hindi na po ito inspiration. Although, mga prophet po ay may sariling opinion. At minsan, may mga exception. Minsan nga ay violation po sa commandments ng Panginoon. Kapag ito po ay ang Panginoon po ang nagsugo, wala tayong magawa. Halimbawa, how can we question Hosea sa Hosea 1 verse 2 na ang Panginoon po nagsabi, Hosea, go and marry a whore o a harlot. Bakit tayo po mag-question ang Panginoon nagsabi? Kaya may mga cases, even though it is against the permissive will of God, ay magsabi po at magawa po ang mga propita. Pero ito po'y sa kanilang mga opinion at sa kaminsan pinahantalutan ng Panginoon. Pero nalaman natin na sa Bible, ang paghihiwalay at saka ang pag-asawa ulit ay hindi pwede ayon po sa kagustuhan ng Panginoon. These are the only two letters that remarriage advocates use to support their claims. Adventist Home 344, Selected Messages Book 2 339-340. If these two letters contain the will of God regarding marriage question, He would have permitted them to be published in her lifetime, and they should not remain hidden in a basel for many decades. Ayon po sa manuscript 2:1913, I do not think she wrote, Sister White, that any such letters as that ought to be placed before me. I do not think it is my work to deal with such things unless the case has been plainly opened before me. There should be brethren in the church who have wisdom, who can speak decidedly regarding this case. I cannot understand such things. Ibig sabihin, may maraming mga sulat na natanggap ni Sister White about divorce and remarriage. Pero sabi niya, hindi siya makapag-decide pag hindi niya nalaman ang full story. There will be brethren in experience that can make wise decision for them. Pero po, ayon po sa sulat ni William Clarence White, in a letter to a worker, January 6, 1931, si William White po ay nagdala ng isang ebidensya that will give us an idea about some documents on the writings of Sister White. Ito po ang sinasabi ni William White. Unscriptural Divorces and Social Relationships, page 47 and 48. After reading the documents I today send you, you will say, well, he has not given me anything authoritative from Sister White that directly answers the question. But I think you will see from what I am sending you that it was Sister White's intention that there should not go forth from her pen anything that could be used as a law or a rule in dealing with these questions of marriage, divorce, remarriage, and adultery. Kaya nakaabot sa isang decision, Sister White, na dahil sa kadami-daming mga confusion about divorce and remarriage, sabi niya, do not use my pen anything that could be used as a law or a rule dealing with these questions of marriage. At meron pang isang dagdag, Mother has received during the last 20 years many letters making inquiry regarding the matters about which you write, and she has many times written in reply that she had no advice to give different from that of the Apostle Paul. Recently, she has refused to deal with letters of this character and tells us not to bring them to her attention. Kaya dito po, ayon po sa sinabi sa kanyang anak na si William White, na lahat ng mga sulat with regards to marriage problem, Sister White said, I have no other advice to give to you but follow to the advices of Apostle Paul. Ano ba yung advice ni Apostle Paul? Doon po sa Romans 7:1-3 and 1 Corinthians 7:11 and 39 na ang babae o lalaki, they are bound by the law until their partners are still alive. Pero pag mapatay na, they are free to marry again. At ang 1 Corinthians 7:11 to 39, nagsabi doon na pag may separation, you should remain unmarried. If not, be reconciled. Kaya po, ang married institution will be restored in the last days. Napag-alaman natin na ang dalawang institution, ang Sabado at ang marriage, were established right in the Garden of Eden. At ito po'y i-restore ulit. Ayon po sa sinasabi ng Malakay 4:4-6, Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Kaya po, ang Panginoon po ay magpadala sa espiritu ni Elijah to restore all things. Ano pong sinabi ni Jesus? Mateo 17:11. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. Kaya in the time of the end, ayon po sa Prophet and King 678, let us read, in the time of the end, every divine institution is to be restored. Kaya kung hindi ito po na kompleto na restore sa panahon ni Sister White, ito po'y ma-restore sa mga tao na magdala po sa kompleto na liwanag sa third angel's message. The grace of Christ and this alone can make this institution what God designed it should be, an agent for the blessing and uplifting of humanity. And thus, the families of earth in their unity and peace and love may represent the family of heaven. May the Lord bless us and give us understanding of this subject in accordance to the will of God. This is my wish and prayer. Amen.